Welcome to the Republican Talk Show, everybody. I am your host, Kenneth Glenn, and today we got some more news. So, the Democrats just released a new, I don't know if it's a document or what it is. Oh, no, it is new docs. Okay, so we got new documents from the Democrats exposing Musk, Peter Thiel, and Steve Bannon being named in Epstein documents. This comes from Axios, which probably means we're going to have a long video because Axios likes to do all of the details. It's like reading Axios is like reading a Stephen King or a Tom Clancy novel because they go through everything, every little fact. So it's probably going to be a longer video. But without further ado, let's get into this. So it begins. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and Steve Bannon are all named in copies of Jeffrey Epstein's daily schedule released Friday by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. And fun fact, Thomas Massie's working alongside them to get transparency and all the stuff released. Thomas Massie's like one of the only real Republicans actually pushing to get these files out and released. Everybody else is like lying about it, trying to hide it, saying they don't exist. There's no Epstein files, there's no client list. All the other Republicans are trying to say all that stuff, but Thomas Massie's actually working alongside to try to get transparency. And I respect him completely. He's a great politician, and hopefully he runs in 2028, because I will vote for Thomas Massie over J.D. Vance, definitely. Because we don't want J.D. Vance even touching the presidency. I don't even want him in the White House now. But we're stuck with him. Should have done my research on him before I started endorsing him. It's my fault. But we're going to continue on here. We're not going to get too sidetracked. Why it matters. The schedules make a reference, or make references. Excuse me. The schedules make reference to Musk possibly flying to an island in 2014. And Thiel and Bannon apparently dining with Epstein as recent as 2017 and 2019, respectively. Quote, it should be clear to every American that Jeffrey Epstein was friends with some of the most powerful and wealthiest men in the world. Oversight Committee Democrats spokesperson Sarah Guerrero said in a statement, every new document provides new information as we work to bring justice for the survivors and victims. Oversight Democrats will not stop until we identify everyone complicit complicit in Epstein's heinous crimes. The documents do not link any of the men to criminal activity or misconduct. So these are some of the quotes and some of the facts. Committee Democrats did not give Republicans advance notice before releasing these documents, and the GOP accused them of cherry-picking the documents while concealing others that would implicate Democratic officials. Spokespeople for Musk, Thiel, and Bannon did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So they didn't respond to Axios when they were asked about it. And I'm going to get into why it's weird later. I'm going to keep on going on with this. Epstein's relationships with Bannon, Thiel, and Musk have all been previously reported, but the documents have not. So obviously we know that, especially Peter Thiel of all things. Peter Thiel, who's the reason why J.D. Vance is even in the office right now. He's probably part of the operation in 2017 that David Frum talks about. And if you want me to explain more about that, you can comment down below. But Peter Thiel, who we know is lifetime friends with Epstein, basically, has had a very public relationship with Epstein. Now, Bannon and Musk, not so much. I didn't even really know who Elon Musk was until 2018. So there wasn't much there. I guess Elon Musk was an Iron Man, so that was kind of cool. But anyways, continuing on here. State of play, the schedules from the third tranche of documents turned over to the panel in response to its subpoena of the Epstein estate in August. The batch contains 8,544 documents, said the Oversight Committee Democrat spokesperson Emily Cassiner-Marks. The documents purport to show Epstein's phone logs from 2002 to 2005, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to move on to the good stuff here. All right, so Elon Musk, the billionaire owner of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, and who is, or at least was, I'm not sure how the relationship is now, but he was allies with Trump during the presidency after he got shot, is listed in December 6, 2014. So Jeffrey Epstein writes, reminder, Elon Musk Island, December 6th. And then it's there's an apprentice, and it's this will, or is this still happening? November 27, 2017 entry lists a 12 p.m. lunch with Peter Thiel. Thiel is obviously the billionaire who was big on Palantir. I'm not sure if he's the inventor of Palantir or what, but he's big on that. And he's basically J.D. Vance's master. Not master, but he's the one that influenced J.D. Vance. He's his mentor. That's a better word for it. And in an entry in September 16, 2019, just months before Epstein's death, lists a 7 a.m. breakfast with Steve Bannon. Bannon, a close Trump ally, served on the White House Senior Counsel during his first term. So, a lot of stuff doesn't look great, especially seeing that Epstein in 2019 was already in trouble in court and stuff like that. Accusations came out very early. There is some trying to think here. There's was it the Israeli Prime Minister? Yes, so Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, I think that's how you say it, the 10th Prime Minister, he had emails leak from Jeffrey Epstein, and in those emails, it's confirmed that he knew about the accusations of Epstein before he admitted that he knew, which is very interesting. I wonder if Steve Bannon or any of these other guys knew. But it's especially weird that Steve Bannon would have lunch with him in 2019. That's the year he died. That's the year he was going to jail and stuff. So that's or he went to prison. So that doesn't look great. And what's really weird about the whole Epstein thing, and with all these politicians and famous people hanging out with Epstein, is who is Jeffrey Epstein? Think about it. Who is Jeffrey Epstein? What did Jeffrey Epstein really do? Name what he did. Did he start a tech company? Did he start a car company? What does he do? Is he a drop shipper? If you didn't know the answer, he's none of that. He's a billionaire. Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire, and we have no idea how he got his money. There's no record on how he got that money. He's a billionaire, and there's nothing. And it is very weird that all of these guys are hanging out with this guy who is a billionaire, and there's no explanation for how he got his money. Epstein just comes out of nowhere. He's a multi-billionaire, and all these guys are like best buds with him. It just doesn't make sense. He didn't build infrastructure like Trump. He didn't start a tech company like Peter Thiel. He's not an entrepreneur like Elon Musk. So how did he get his money? And why are all these people hanging out with him? What's so interesting about this guy? We know what's so interesting about this guy. And it's not something nice. So the GOP was mad about this, obviously. The GOP was talking about how they're only releasing Republican ones and they're being biased on how they're releasing things. I'm trying to see if I can find the quote here. Let's see. Here we go. It's unfortunate the Democrats continue to meaninglessly cherry-pick documents to politicize this investigation. They are intentionally withholding documents that contain the names of Democrat officials, and the information they released today is old news. Okay. I'm not against this cherry-picking stuff. I think this is what we should be doing. I think the politicians on both sides should start a war. Here's my recommendation. The politicians on both sides start a war, okay? The Republicans try to get as much information on Democrats within the Epstein files as they can. Democrats do the same thing to Republicans, and they just clash. Go to war, and whoever has the most compelling evidence and the more people on their side arrested wins. That's how I think it should be. I don't know what the GOP is doing. The GOP could do the same stuff the Democrats are doing, but they just don't seem to care. And the Republicans keep lying about everything. They say we're going to release the files. We're going to release the files. Nothing, nothing, nothing. All of a sudden, the Epstein files don't exist. We're done. We're not going to do it anymore. And it's bullcrap. We're told that like Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, or he did kill himself earlier this year. Both Dan Bongino and Kash Patel both said that not only did Epstein kill himself, but they saw the video. That's a real thing they said. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino both said it. In March this year, Pam Bondi briefs Trump on the Epstein files and says, hey, did you know that you're in the Epstein files? Did you know you're found in them, basically? And we find out later, I think it was Mike Johnson that said this, that the only reason why Trump's in the Epstein files is because he was an FBI informant. Isn't that interesting? He's an NSA third echelon super spy for the government. It's like, okay, come on, give me a break. He wouldn't pass the fitness test to get in the FBI. Are you kidding me? But that's what they said. They said he was an FBI agent, and that's the only reason why he's in the files. So, that's weird. You would think if he was an FBI agent, they wouldn't have to brief him on him being in the files. You would think that, right? He would have already known. Like, yeah, I know that. I was an FBI agent, you idiot. But no, he had to be briefed on it in March. So that's weird. So this whole situation doesn't seem right to me. It's not sitting right with me. And I really just don't know what to think. So anyways, give me your thoughts down below. I hope you liked this video. Please leave a comment, subscribe for more. And I will see you guys later. Peace.